Now, any cancer diagnosis is devastating, but what if it's also likely to rob you of your chance to have a child? Well, Rebecca Kampfner from Derbyshire knows that all too well. She was told 5 years ago she had cervical cancer.
But an unusual treatment has allowed her to achieve her dream of becoming a mother. Surgeons decided not to remove her womb. They say more women should be aware it's an option. Carolyn Moses reports.
A new and happy family with 6-month-old Everly. But Rebecca and her husband Greg from Stanton-by-Dale never thought it would happen after their world went into a spin. A routine smear test after they just got married led to a call into hospital.
Having that diagnosis, having someone tell you when you're 33 years old and trying for a baby that you've got cervical cancer and throwing around words like hysterectomy was just devastating. From that point on, I just had to focus on the fact, hopefully we can still have children.
What we do is to remove the whole of the neck of the womb.
That hope came in the form of Nottingham surgeon Jaf Abu, who offered a radical trachelectomy or cervix removal, something only offered in a handful of cases and not everywhere.
It's always very difficult when you tell any woman that they've got cervical cancer. But I think women especially need to be aware of that fact that if you have a diagnosis of cervical cancer, that is not the end of the whole thing. You don't necessarily have to have a radical hysterectomy. For them to know that there's an alternative actually helps them to reflect and say, oh, there is hope for me.
That's just the first step. Getting pregnant's the next. Rebecca needed several rounds of IVF before Everly was on her way. A stitch was also put at the base of her womb to keep the baby in, and she had to spend months in hospital. Now Rebecca's hoping to support other would-be mums.
It really was a lifeline, and I think it should be available to any woman who has early stage cervical cancer and is eligible for it. I didn't think I was going to get that experience carrying my own child, so to have her here is just amazing. She's our absolute world, and we're very, very, very lucky to be here and to have her.
You're watching East Midlands Today. In other news,